Other interesting cultural news, you have Elon Musk gotten a graph of Democrats moving more and more left to become leftist. As, yeah, it's one of those things where you take the policies from Democrats in the 1990s and you just look at them now, they'd call you a right-wing extremist. And one of the best examples of the goalposts being moved throughout the years is the hot topic of abortion, which is one of the most debated topics for decades in the United States. And don't get me wrong, both sides raise money on the topic as well. But it's all this is where back in the 90s, you had the Democrats were and Republicans were against it, obviously. Well, true Republicans, you have some rhinos who, but they believe, on the most part, many of them are faith-based. They believe life begins at conception on average. And Democrats, even back then, they didn't think it was a good thing in terms of abortion. They thought, and again, the very famous mantra of the 90s, even in Clinton's, it was supposed to be, they thought abortion was supposed to be safe, legal, and rare. That was their whole philosophy. That was a cultural, opinion about that at the time. And the goalposts have been moved so far. It's not a testament. It's not something they cheer for. It's to the point where at the DNC get-together, at the Democratic convention, they literally had a mobile abortion clinic and what do you call it when you neuter not the vasectomy for men. They had a vasectomy machine service mobile as well as an abortion mobile outside the DNC in Chicago. It went from being safe, legal, and rare to now they're bragging about it. I mean, that's how far it shifted. And just having the opinion, like nowadays, if you're to say you believe that it should be safe, legal, rare, they call you right-wing extremist. It's ridiculous. This graph further emphasizes the point of how far they moved throughout the years. Again, this is brought to us thanks to Elon on X.com, in which he says, quote, and he's responding to a graph by the Rabbit Hole. Now, the Rabbit Hole graph says, between 1994 and 2017, Democrats shifted more drastically to the left than Republicans shifted to the right. See if we can build that graph really quick here. Oh, there we go. And yeah, 1994, yeah, Democrats in the middle, Republicans at 5 and 6. Hilariously enough, Republicans went from a 6 to 6.5 in terms of this graph. Now the graph being on the very 0 being consistently liberal and 10 consistently conservative. Conservatives went from 6 to 6.5 in like 20 years. A lot of rhinos. But Democrats went from a 5 on the graph to a 4 to a 2, which that's insane. And don't get me started on Republicans, how, it still blows me. One of my pet peeves is the fact that they did not repeal the 1934 NFA, the National Firearms Act. Ridiculous and unconstitutional. And yeah, Republicans still haven't gotten that repealed. Ridiculous. But I partially digress. Now, Elon Musk responded to this, saying, quote, this explains the silly terminology of leftist legacy press, where they only use the terms left and far right. From their extremely left standpoint, even centrists are far right. Correct. And a lot of folks like Elon including, they all consider themselves left centrist. And that got right shy of 15 million views and 81,000 likes, with one of the first comments coming from AKA saying, quote, it's not even close either. They've gone so far left, they're off the table, getting 314 likes. This is another very famous meme. It went viral a couple years back. Elon posted this. The Rabbit Hole has a picture of basically a long line. You have left, you have right. You have some in the middle saying center. The very left was, my fellow liberal, and the very right is conservative. And then, throughout the years, my fellow liberal runs far and more far left. Person in the center stays there, person on the right stays there. Then the last meme, or the little picture, is someone on the far left getting more far left, and it's being labeled woke progressive, says bigot, and the person in the center left a little bit to the right of the center, and the person on the right says LOL, which, yeah, because again, their policies have shifted so far. I mean, on many topics, again, one of my biggest passions is, well, I'm American, so I believe in the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. I mean, even back then, you've seen them now to the point they want to ban all semi-automatics just because they're scary black rifles. I mean, now they want red flag laws, which violate the whole concept of due process. It's one of those things where you're guilty first, and you have to go to court and prove yourself. It's disgusting, unconstitutional, and being used as a weapon in many cases against people in terms of disarming them unfairly. And they're pushing those types of laws. I mean, they've just become more and more radical. Now that infographic, they got 683 likes. You also have Chuck Costello saying, quote, legacy media is the biggest bag for the Dem Party. Are you still voting Trump? Are you voting for Trump or communism? Getting 164 likes. Email Strong says the meme hashtag swipe right made illustrates it, getting 40 likes. Paul Zupa says this is why so many people are walking away from the left. They're too far left, getting 33 likes. Trump Army says which way America? And you have Trump as well as JD Vance. It says Americanism. They have Kamala Harris and Tim Walz says socialism, getting 291 likes, which you need to use that word more often. When was the last time you heard of Americanism. Sounds right. Scrolling on more and more, you have Trump Army saying spot on, and Elon Musk says, a quote says, they don't ban hate speech, they ban speech they hate. True. And that got 454 likes. Scrolling down, Nakimoto says the far left and far right are essentially identical, getting 185 likes. They share a lot of things. Although one wants complete government control, one wants anarchy, and, well, I would argue one's more freedom than the other. Let's see. Steve Ferguson says, if you love America, the regime media brands you as far right. I'm proud to be far right, getting 28 likes. Sadly reminiscent of a couple years ago where they just called everything under the sun racist, where now that, and it's not good, but that word is pretty much lost all meaning. It's become so, I mean, no one really cares if you use that term anymore because it's become so ineffective because it's like crying wolf. They said everything was racist, all of a sudden nothing became racist because they overused the word. Throwing down more and more, see if there's any contrarian statements. Anti-left memes, which they did respond to meme form this time, said the left considers our constitution to be far right. In 21 likes, which, yeah, they also say this is the party that now says the First Amendment is a threat to them. Which again, go back to the 90s, left and right, they all believed in the First Amendment. I mean, the left didn't so much believe in the Second Amendment, but the First Amendment, everyone believed in. Don't get me wrong, Republicans, they helped pass the Patriot Act, which is terrible in terms of privacy, online privacy, and they've had their share of censoring people as well. Don't get me started. But yeah, now the left especially wants to ban the First Amendment. I mean, you have like, it was a Schumer and a couple other folks saying how it's a detriment, and the Clintons and Hillary saying, oh yeah, social media is a threat because we can't control it. And of course, I should say for the record, Hillary Clinton is definitely an absolute beautiful, intelligent woman who does not have a disproportionate amount of people who are surrounding her who coincidentally commit suicide. It's coincidence, of course. She is a beautiful, intelligent woman who never insinuates she's a criminal who's had people killed. Just coincidentally, I do plan to live a long, fulfilling life. Just coincidentally, just want to throw that out there, and just for the record. But yeah, not too many contrarian statements. As again, culturally speaking, it's becoming more and more. I mean, more and more people are just starting to say, like, I didn't become right. I just stayed put, and the left went, far left. They kept moving the goalposts and moving their party. And I think it's going to hurt them in upcoming elections as more and more people just feel politically alienated, and they're going to go somewhere. And now especially, I mean, the past couple weeks, you had RFK Jr. come out for Trump. I mean, a lot of those libertarian folks are going to start going for the Trump party. But let me know in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know I can make sure better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.